Welcome back, everybody, to Quake Pro League, Stage 2, Week 10. I am 40 Lions, joined by the one and only ZSX. We just saw Kilson make quite the return to Quake Pro League, taking it 2-1 over CNZ. But now we're going to hop over to the America side, and we have Maxter versus Rapha. Dan, how do you feel about it?
I am a huge Maxter fanboy. I love his play style. I think he's got swag, but he hasn't got enough swag to take this one from Rapha, I think, today. You'll be foolhardy to put any points his way.
All right. Predictions already coming out. I mean, look, Rapha, again, the end boss, right? We call him that because he just can't stop winning. Maxter coming off a big 3-0 last week over Zanaku, but Zanaku and Rapha, two entirely different beasts. Maxter does have an uphill battle. I would say that you're probably right. I mean, it almost feels unfair at this point, right? Anybody that goes against Rapha, you're kind of like, I think Rafa's going to take this, but we'll see. We'll see. Any given Sunday, Dan. That's why they play. But Maxter definitely has a big order ahead of him. But I don't know. Maybe the pick bands will be nuts. Maybe Rafa totally flubbed the pick bands, and it's all in favor of Maxter. We'll see. Let's take a look.
Yeah, the quick answer is no.
I mean, look, it was improbable, but there's always a chance. As we have Awoken, Veil, and Exile, we got Ranger versus Doom, Scalebearer versus Sorlag on Veil, and then we got Strog versus Galena on Exile.
Yeah, I mean, Maxter forced to ban the Athena just because he just fears it in Rapha's hands, which is completely understandable, but once you do that, you then give him a Doom. So it's the kind of lesser of two evils, but still incredibly powerful, as we just saw in the previous match. Ranger, once again, has great versatility with the orb and the rocket jumps, and you're going to again have to use them to perfection. You need to use the rocket jump to keep the speed up, to catch Doom, then use the orbs to close the gap, to have the burst. Everything needs to fall into place, and that's always very hard against Rapha. Veil, I am loving these picks. Scalebearer, yes, give me more. But then you also have the Sorlag as well. So it's a battle of two beasts. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch, I'm sure. Maxter likes to play aggressive, and Rapha's not afraid of it either. Banning the kill, understandable. It's a champion that can just really have a strong hold, and those pineapples can cause a lot of chaos in Veil. So it's kind of, again, just taking out of the pool, trying to pick a heavy champion and go mano a mano. And Exile, I never really know what we're going to expect of Exile. Everyone finds their own way. We have Galena and Rapha, which is not the most usual pick on Exile, so I'm really interested to see what strategy he plays around that. Haven't seen him play a lot of Exile in the QPL. And then the Strong, which is a strong champion, pretty good to get around Exile. It's a little bit difficult to use, particularly on the lower ground, because there's lots of little ridges and edges that can kind of push you off and handicap you a little bit in that aspect, but again, it's still an incredibly strong champion.
Yeah. I think the picks in terms of Maxter versus Rapha, who do you think won out on the picks, or do you think they're relatively even?
I think Rapha won out on the picks. I would prefer maps 1 and 2 ever so slightly, the Doom and the Sorlag over the Keel and the Ranger. Definitely Doom on map 1. Again, I think Exile was still learning what works best, and interested to see what Rapha has in terms of the Galena. I think it's a bit of a safer pick on that map as well, so I would give Rapha the edge for all three.
So a 3-0 prediction for Rapha. Absolutely game-changing, really. We've never had those before, ever, on the Quake Pro League. But chat, lock in your predictions. I heard the noise. We're going to be getting into it soon. Maxter versus Rapha all starts on Awoken. So Ranger Doom should be a good one. I mean, again, you tend to lean towards this is just going to be another, 3-0 for Rapha. But as you said, Maxter's got the swag. He's got the confidence. But can he pull it off? This would be a huge upset, I feel like. Even taking a map might be surprising to some, but it's going to be a tall order, and it all starts with Awoken. So as we get into it, predictions flying in, I think. I'm not even sure if they're done or whatever. I don't know, Dan. I don't know what's going on, but I know that this is going to be the second set of the day, Maxter versus Rapha.
Fine. I'm used to that with you.
Good.
It's absolutely fine.
And you still give the edge to Doom, huh? Fine. Maybe just I love Ranger too much. But it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what Maxter and Rapha do, as we are live right now. Map number 1 on Maxter. He's going to start off with the Mega pickup, making his way over to LG, slowing it down.
But the problem is that Ranger is very, very strong. But at this level of Quake, Doom just gives you a much better position advantage. You can get around the map a lot quicker. You can hold positions a lot stronger. And even in combat, that double jump just causes so much complication that it mitigates a lot of your damage some of the time. And again, every damage counts, particularly against Rapha. So it's always a hard task, and yes, there's an incredibly high ceiling. I don't really like that description or wording for the way Ranger can be played, but it's just not enough in a lot of situations.
Almost gets a rail angle, does Maxter. But yeah, that all makes sense, Dan, I guess. I guess it checks out. I guess it checks out as we have a slow start.
I know I'm kind
here.
of making your silver brain throb with all this analysis, but
there's just a lot of words you're using that I don't understand, Dan, as the rail from
damn
Maxter.
Kekona.
Missing, hitting with that one. There's the Dire Orb. Rapha does hit a rail. Both players extremely weak. Ooh, risky rocket jump there to make it, but now this should be a frag here as Rapha tries to get out, but Maxter there with the LG waiting. Now he has full map control as well.
And that's exactly what we want to see from Maxter is be aggressive, get in Rapha's face, don't let him breathe. If you let Rapha settle, that's when you're in trouble. And yes, it feels counterintuitive if you know, a little bit afraid of your opponent, you respect him, but you can't change your game. You have to play your game, you have to be aggressive. And if you can't unsettle Rapha, that's when you're in with the best chance of taking the map away.
Rapha tried to hit him with the fadeaway tri-bolt damage. Nothing doing as Maxter through the telly. There's the Dire Orb from downtown. Maxter, a huge frag there, putting him up 2-0 against Rapha.
And this is what we wanted to say. See, we said if you want to play Ranger and you're playing well, you've got to play fast. You've got to use the rocket jump, you've got to use the orbs. And look at this from Maxter. Rapha at this moment in time is spinning his heels, just running away, trying to get away from the Argentinian. I am liking what I am seeing.
Maxter, as you said, playing his game, his tempo, not letting Rapha get comfortable at all, because that's when Rapha's the most dangerous. There's the rocket into the LG. Rapha can even steal the heavy. He does. He might even be able to get this frag. How did this happen, Dan? Wow. Rapha hits the tri-bolt to get that frag, and that really looked like it was Maxter's frag.
Yeah, but just perfect timing again for Rapha to sneak his way in. He knew he'd done the calculations. He knew the damage he could sustain to get in and get out, and it went all too well to plan. He's also in great position to pressure this Mega as well. Max is there, but not a lot to work with. The distracting orb does come out, but he sustained a lot of damage, and he won't be able to make a single move onto this heavy.
I think Rapha heard the telly now, so he knows he's safe for the time being, as the play will be for the Mega next, up in 10. Maxter trying to make it. Wow. Makes it in time, and the tri-bolt, and the rail, forcing Rapha off of the Mega. What a play from Maxter. The damage output is just incredible.
It is huge. Rapha, though, is controlling the items, so he's not all too concerned if he's missing out on all of this stuff.
Ooh, and Rapha tracks him down. Maxter lingering a little too long, didn't have anywhere to go, tried to get that last rail before he perished. Tied at 2. Rapha looking to extend now, catches Maxter out. There's one rail, tries to hit with another one. There's the Dire Orb to close the gap. The shotgun is not going to do it. The rockets landing for Rapha, and oh look, there's a Mega. But he's going to wait. He's going to try and take the resources on the middle of the map first, and just maximizing the stack as best he can, making sure he utilizes all of the resources on the map for the bigger items and a free heavy, because Maxter can't contest. And this is when Rapha is just real dangerous, Dan.
Yeah, and Maxter hasn't really had a look in on the items ever so recently, and this is exactly where it becomes more and more painful. You have to either get incredibly lucky or string together a number of shots to even have a look in, and it's incredibly rare that that will happen. Rapha now even taking away the lights as while he's at it as well, so Maxter is living very much on the ropes.
Hanging on by a thread.
Yeah.
Missed a rail there from Rapha, but he might be able to cut this off. There's the Dire Orb play just to get out of there. So now Rapha knows that it's gone. Maxter pushes back, takes a lot of damage, tries to make something happen through the telly, but surely, yep, he gets tossed out the club. Rocket pop,
but it's
Maxter's
right
gone.
before the Mega as well. He's going to try and pressure, but at what cost? As now the scoreline begins to grow and grow in favor of Rapha.
So, explosive start for Maxter, and then it all just goes horribly wrong as Rapha asserts his dominance again. 5 minutes in, up 4, looking to extend. Nice little nail jump using the Doom double jump as well. And now it's just, it might just turn into the Rapha show, as we said before. Threading the needle with the rocket, not getting any damage. Maxter trying to back off. Good defensive LG here, but at what cost? Why are you there? The heavy's not up for another 10 seconds. Rapha extremely weak after that fight, but so is Maxter. There's the Dire Orb, there's the steal, but he dies.
from downtown, but it's still not enough to dethrone Rapha as he retreats once again onto this mega. Nice little push, catching Rapha actually with the wrong weapon out for the first time, but Rapha does get out of there very healthy indeed. Max is still trying to chip away, but again, what is the strategy here? Yes, you're trying to pressure your opponent, but Rapha is repositioning, picking up more and more resources, and there is still loads of time before the next major item. So maxter needs to have a more calculated approach to these fights and have a consequence to them. Again, it's like, it's all great doing that damage, but if Rapha's then going to use that damage to soak up more of your resources, in some ways you're handicapping yourself. And so again, it's that fine balance of when to push is the simple explanation.
Here's the push there as maxter's hitting these rails. Can he hit another one? And the trade actually comes out for maxter as Rapha takes him down with the LG, but look at this god spawn right there. He's like, these are my items, sorry.
But maxter actually gets some nice rockets back-to-back, bouncing Rapha around. He does get a frag. That's really good. It is just before the heavy. Rapha will be pushing aggressive, though. He gets a nice spawn over by the rocket and doesn't even need the rocket. He's got a machine gun. Does miss out on the heavy, but he didn't sustain any damage in the process.
Just the most vicious machine gun funk I've ever seen. Just insane as maxter trying to land some rockets. Nothing doing. 9-4. Rapha gets that frag back relatively easily here. And again, just doesn't want to give maxter any kind of in. Sure, I'll give you a frag, but I'm going to get right back into it. Make sure I get the refrag. Great shoulder rail there from Rapha, making sure maxter stays low on stack. Yeah, it's so hard to come back against Rapha. It's just, it's insane.
It is really insane because he knows exactly what you want to do, has a way to counter it. He then has perfect control of the map. He has a longer term plan than you. It's going up against the biggest of the boys in this type of matchup.
230 left here. Some rocket damage coming out from maxter. Can't land the rail on his way out. And just the stack is so huge on Rapha. He could tank some rails. Down to 61 HP as he hits a rail of his own. Very lucky to get out of there. That rocket almost connecting. And so maxter, again, doing good damage, but Rapha just has all the items.
He does. Poor maxter's seen, maybe 1 or 2 major items in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Living without a prayer at this point, and he's trying to just exchange damage, but it's at that point you're exchanging. And when you don't have items to work with, you then have to just retreat. It's really, 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 really difficult, and at this point, pretty much impossible to even consider a comeback.
What a rail from Rapha there. 78 HP hanging in there, adding to the frag lead as maxter just now. There's not enough time. He's just got to start pushing. It's just going to add to the frag count inevitably. As we're 8:30 in here, Dan.
Yeah, maxter's incredibly good at taking up these aggressive positions and doing immense amount of damage, but I think the clear weakness that we've seen in this duel, and again it's a weakness relative to the way in which Rapha's playing, is that it's just the overall strategy of what's to come from that. Rapha knows exactly the limits of what he can and can't do, and we saw it of how he got back into this game. Like a hyper-aggressive push to steal away the heavy, which even resulted in a frag for him. I don't think he even considered getting a frag on the back of that. It was just to take away the items, which meant if he died, he would then get the mega for free and then begin to spiral on his snowball comeback. I haven't seen that level of strategy from maxter. He's got incredible mechanical skill, incredible combat skill. It's just then refining the overall strategy of how he approaches the duel, and then he becomes very scary.
Missing that crucial piece for right now as the punches come out. Rapha wants it.
Maxter's not having none of that.
Maxter's like, please, a little more respect. Just a little more. As Rapha tries to hit him with the bop bop.
Look at the scoreline, 11-6. We've seen some absolute crucifyings from Rapha on this map. And yet maxter comes away with a very, very respectable loss.
Yeah, again, not a bad showing from maxter at all. As you said, it really came down to kind of item control because everything else is on point for maxter. There's a dire orb in, tries to get one last frag, and Rapha still says no. Denies him to the end. 12-6 is going to be the final score on Awoken map number 1 between these two. But, I mean, a glimpse of brilliance here and there from maxter after a pretty good start. And then just Rapha with Rapha things. Comes back again, gains the item control, and slowly starts choking you out of the map. There's not much you can do to get back.
No, not at all. It was always going to be a hard task. As soon as Rapha had control, Yeah, it was a mic drop moment at the start where there's a couple of frags back to back, and this is the push. Yeah, stole away the heavy, and you could see even when maxter was in control, he was playing without a lot of items, and then 2.5 minutes in, it was a long road back into the game. You saw multiple times he did immense amount of damage onto rapha, and even pushes like this were incredible. But then there was a lot of times where it was like, the damage is there, what's the follow-up? And unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of follow-up.
And indeed, 12-6, again, final score on map number 1. But now, Dan, it's our favorite part. We're getting thick on Veil. We got Scale and Sorlag coming up, and this one should be a heater. Any kind of, besides the obvious, play around the items more and be more cognizant of item control, any tips you would have in maxter's position trying to bounce back and send us to a third map?
No, I think you said it completely. Is that he's very good at putting on pressure. He does a lot of damage. I mean, you did more damage than rapha in that game. You saw by 400 damage. Keep doing that, but then make sure you've got an objective in mind. Don't push for the sake of pushing. Don't overextend. Like I said, to beat rapha, you have to play perfect, and so it's the whole game, not just hitting your shots. It's around how then you play off the back of that. And he did it very well in keeping the tempo up, and he's gonna have to do the same on Scale as well. So play fast, play quick, but focus on the items.
Yeah, we'll see if he can pull it off here. It's going to be a little rough. Again, rapha he really is 5 steps ahead. He's in your head, knowing what you're going to do before you do it, but we'll see if maxter's got it. I see chat lighting up here. Give your energy to maxter if you want. We'll see. Map number 2, Veil. We're going to get into it shortly. I just heard it pop, but you're going to stay true to your 3-0. I feel like most people might. It's probably going to be the rapha show, but you know, any given Sunday. If anyone can do it, do you think it's going to be maxter? We've already seen Zanaku take a map. I don't know.
I mean, I love your optimism, Morfordy. Like, you are so upbeat.
Somebody's got to have it, right? We can't just get in here and be like, "Why even play this set? It's rapha. Next set." Like, we can't do that. That's not good showmanship. Like, I don't know what. Yeah.
I am here to say how it is, and that's how it is.
All right, so maxter should just leave the server. Got it. Dan's locked it in. There's no point, maxter. Why even try? Chat, back me up on this, chat. I need some assistance. We'll see. We'll see. It is going to be a brutal one here, but you know, it all depends on the start. It all depends on the start. Let's see if maxter can at least get off to a good start here as we're live on map number 2, maxter versus rapha.
Live on maxter, storming around the map. He's even going to storm straight at rapha, bouncing him around. The shotgun to the face as well, but he's eating a lot of damage himself, but not enough as he comes away. First frag, reminiscent of map 1.
So much damage. That rail's huge right off the bat from rapha. And yeah, I mean, maxter can have these explosive starts, but again, the focus has to be on the items to try and maintain the lead. The second rocket not as big as he wanted. Oh, in the rail, rapha. I don't even know how he hit that, but ties it at 1.
Right before the major items. Yes, maxter gets it, but look at that. 6s all round, and maxter's melted.
I don't think that's how LG sounds at all, Dan, but that's absolutely what happened. He got electrified. It's more of a but 2-1 for rapha right now. Maxter's still going to play quick. I don't think he's going to stop the tempo at all. I mean, he likes to be aggressive. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, I feel like he's just going to keep throwing his body at him, literally, as he hits him with the shoulder check, ties it at 2.
I just love heavy versus heavy. When there's a scale involved, I don't care if DJ Wait doesn't like him. Look at this. It's glorious to watch it. Like a gazelle crossed with a hippopotamus just charging around the map, and it is a sight to see. maxter in good control, just playing the items much better than he did at the start of the previous game.
Hip hop anonymous,
but it's very early for this heavy, so he needs to retreat, get back onto the high ground. Otherwise, he will start to lose out, and that's what rapha's doing extremely well, playing the high ground. You can see here, it's very difficult to get back up there, and he has to actually miss out on this mega. Should be able to get the heavy, but doesn't even go for that now. Too much respect onto rapha, who's now got full stack.
Ooh! Good rocket there on the way out as rapha heard the charge, didn't want any part of it. And you saw earlier rapha taking the position on the high ground near the mega, spitting just in case maxter did push through. He was going to take that tick damage. It was going to be punishing. Not as punishing as Timmy, but the spit is still pretty good in this scenario to help defend the mega. There he goes through. rapha trying to make it happen here, but he's going to take a lot of damage. But that rail evens it out, and now maxter takes the spit damage as well. And a shotgun blast to the chest. Rapha's just so smart with the usage of the spit, the positioning. It's just so hard to get in on Rapha.
Yeah, the positioning is king at the minute because you can see maxter's very much playing on this low ground. If you had a heat map, you would see a lot of red around there. He's trying to push in again, but it's so painful to go through that telly. Huge rockets from the low ground, somehow doing an immense amount of damage from Rapha. The push does work out, but again, he has to make it count now. Getting that heavy as well. Great timing, but another big rocket nullifying a lot of that pickup. But he has got Rapha on the ropes a little bit here. He knows what items he needs. It's armor, so he's trying to probably set a trap over by this light. Here's him. Spit comes out early. Exactly as you said. Nice and calculated zoning spit.
Good rail from Maxter there, but he needs more, and he does.
Oh, wow.
Threads the needle, goes 3 for 3. Maxter coming up big with those rails.
Perfect. Look at the speed of Rapha. Back on, picks up the heavy, and this is quite the brawl we have here, 40.
These rails from Maxter stringing them together. Rapha still, after taking the damage, he just takes all the items. Maxter needs to be wary of that and try and play more around the items. A little bit of rocket splash, trying to get something going, not landing any damage, and he's a little bit early on the mega. I don't think Rapha's going to be able to contest here, as he's just waiting on that lower armor. Maxter's going to be able to grab the upper armor and the mega. Bull rushing his way into the heavy, but not in time. LG on LG, Rapha in a bad way here. Good defensive LG, though, making sure that Maxter does not chase. Huge rocket, and this should be his frag.
Lovely.
But Rapha maxed damage on his way out. Again,
yep,
as you said, makes him pay each and every time.
Yeah, because of that, look at this. And that was the freest of frags. Not even a lick of damage there. He's caught Maxter off the spawn as well. Not a huge amount of damage, but Maxter will not be able to push for this mega. And he's also given up the heavy as well. So this is a really, really, really painful time for Maxter, as now we have a double stacked Rapha running around the map. Maxter without any weaponry as well. He actually leaves the mega up. Nice read from Maxter to push in there. I do like that, but he hasn't got a lot to work with. Just a rail and some nails. So needs to play a little bit slower to try and sneak away around to get that rocket, which is such a crucial weapon. Even uses the bull rush to
awkward
not get him.
Very awkward bull rush there. So much nail damage into the rail, and Rapha's hurt. 25 HP. He's going to grab 225s.
Oh, no, he swaps. Lovely.
No. Rapha gets cut out. Good shot from Maxter there. Great rail off the spawn. Now this is the opportunity Maxter wants right here. And what was that?
What?
All right, Maxter.
And he knows the mega's up.
All right,
Maxter.
Maxter.
Gonna try. Oh, what is going on? Rapha trying so damn hard to get this frag, but Maxter's just retreating and hitting rail after rail after rail. He's picked up both items, but he's still got nothing to work with. Rapha is constantly in his face. Heavy's up soon. Max is in the high ground. But Rapha's not going to relent here.
It's just, I'm still just in awe of these rails. Big rocket into the spin, but he can't get another. Wow, that is so heartbreaking. He could have gotten that frag. Maxter still up by 1, but now Rapha gets mega, and that was just such a good push. So unfortunate for Maxter with the ammo, and now he's going to even it up.
Ah, okay.
A little bit of trans-dimensional LG. It's okay, Dan. 6-6, 6 minutes in. Can Maxter try and get some footing again? He has these stints of 1.5 minutes of brilliance, and then Rapha just comes back and slaps him back to reality.
Yeah, yes. And he's done a great job to try and keep the items a lot more even than they were on map 1, but it does feel now that we're at a tipping point. If Rapha comes away with a clean frag here, it's a long road back for Maxter. However, he does recognize the challenges. He's worked his way onto the high ground, which is exactly what he needs to do. He's going to hit Rapha coming out the TP. Yes, he does. Nice big rocket to start the encounter. He's in the perfect position for the heavy as well. Such a well-worked item for Maxter, and Rapha missing the rail. Here comes the thundering footsteps of the big man. He doesn't thread the needle this time, as Rapha has the lightning gun and Max doesn't have a retaliation. He can't hit the rail either. And now all that work is undone as Rapha picks up a free mega. And it's back to square one for Maxter.
Wow. Great rail there from Rapha. Just hit him with the flick shot. Maxter trying to do the damage that he can. Thought he could get a rail and get away, but nothing doing as Rapha flicks the wrist, gets the frag up by 7 minutes in, and Maxter still trying to fight. Oh no, he gets knocked to the low ground and he's taking spit damage, and Rapha goes down over peaking.
What? He bends these rails like Beckham.
Yeah, I don't understand it at all. huge shotgun blast, not going to be enough. Rapha again on top. Denying the lower armor shard. Maxter is going to push in. He doesn't really have anything to work with.
Now we do have rapha not looking incredibly healthy. Does have all the weapons to work with though. Working over by this heavy. Maxter going to be retreating though over towards the Mega. Rapha pushing in aggressively, swaps to the rocket, bounces his opponent up, has the lightning gun to finish him off. He can't quite do it, but he's done enough of a job.
Wow.
And they do trade.
Unbelievable trade, and Rapha gets the spawn, and he is gone. He's going to grab that Mega, grab the upper shard. Timing on the heavy is going to be about 10 seconds. Maxter cuts him off through the telly with the rockets, trying to do some good damage there. Rapha getting that spit back up before he tries to make a play for the heavy.
I think you're muted on TeamSpeak 40, so I don't know if you're casting or not.
I'm absolutely not. It's totally fine.
Okay. Yeah. That was awkward.
Dan, 9-9, Dan, as things are getting awkward all over the place. In the booth, in the arena, LG on LG. Maxter, can he hit the little tick of damage that he needs? There's up the jump pad, catches him out, and Rapha takes out Rapha. With a minute 30 left, Maxter takes the lead.
He knows if he jumps and doesn't get this heavy, he's dead, but he hears Rapha going around, and Rapha's coming in, storming in, bounced up again, the air rocket doesn't hit, but he's done a job. Rapha is quite low, and he's got the thundering hooves in 10 seconds, but it doesn't matter. He just wants to use this lightning gun. He knows how weak his opponent is. He's set himself up perfectly for the Mega, but he drops! Does he mean to do that? I don't know. Didn't quite work, but he bullies his opponent off. 10 seconds before the biggest item of this match. Rapha is going to get caught, bounced around, shotgun to the face. Maxter takes the lead with 1 minute to go. He has now outworked himself for this heavy, but Rapha tries to get the rocket. He comes in. If he hits a rail, it's huge. He doesn't quite do it. The air control is good. He backs off. There's a long time before this Mega, and Maxter is weak. Lovely positioning though. Rapha misses the rail. Once Maxter sets up,
taking the spit damage, and he finally grabs the Mega. He was hanging in there for that last bit of damage with the rail. He wanted it. 25 seconds for Maxter to hang on. Rapha trying to make it happen. LG on LG. There's the push. Going up the jump pad is Maxter. All the pressure on Rapha now. Can he find him? There's a little bit more damage. He gets pushed to the low ground. Great rail on the way out.
Oh my god. He's railable. And
no, he's up!
He's running away! Oh, he tied it up with 5 seconds to go. Somehow Rapha gets a frag. He's very weak though. The Mega's up in 1, and Rapha is not in position to do it. He knows how weak he is. Maxter there, he misses the rail, it just hits the tail. And Rapha's on the run, but he knows where he is. He hasn't got rockets. He's just going to have to make this work with no other weaponry to work with. The lightning gun comes out. Rapha's so incredibly weak. Can he skittle away? No! Maxter from
Look
Argentina.
at him pop off.
If anyone bloody tells me Scale Bear is bad, I'm banning them from QPL.
DJ Wheat, he's out there. He's probably watching, and he's probably like, oh, Dan is not going to shut up about this.
Maxter just retired Wheat from casting with that performance. That was incredible.
If that wasn't hype, chat, I don't know what is, because that was incredible, and Maxter's done it. Now, it's only a map, but that's a huge, huge task that he just fulfilled. 1-1 against Rapha, as we're going to go to the third map as the decider for the series, Dan, and we do not say that often when Rapha is on the scorecard. And look at that. That's the reaction to losing that whole map, I feel like. He's like, how did this happen?
I mean, no exaggeration. My heart was racing for the last 2 minutes of that map. I'm sweating now, to put it bluntly. I don't even want to know how Max is feeling. That was just style points from start to finish, and exactly what he needed to do. Like, some of the shots this guy hits on, the crazy ping he has to play up, it was incredible. That was such a great map and such a great performance. But as you say, it's not over. There is still another map to go. And we said if you want to rattle Rapha, you have to get in his face. You have to play aggressive. You have to hit your shots. And boy, did Maxter do that! 6,000 damage to Rapha's 4,800. That is brutal. Absolutely mind-blowing.
Absolutely brutal indeed. And you're absolutely right. I mean, throwing Rapha off his game by doing things that he would say is, quote, so bad if you watch him stream. I mean, the pushes to keep you off balance and everything. Maxter just hitting all these rails, aggressive pushes, catching him out, doing what he needed to do. It was such a close game. 11-10. Shouts to Maxter. We're going to a third to settle this series. And you said it was going to be a 3-0 for Rapha. I was the overly optimistic one. I'm just saying, Dan. I'm just saying.
I'll have to give you this. You don't get many, so I'll have to give you this.
Thank you, Seth. Can I have some more?
The fact that it's on scale does make me feel like I still win this one.
We both kind of win. We can win together, Dan. It's okay.
Yeah.
But Exile, the last map, the decider, and it's going to be Strog versus Galena. And we collectively, we still don't really know how the meta is, like what is the meta that's set, if there is one yet. So interested to see how Maxter uses Strog on this one, Rapha on the Galena. A little more tried and true, a little safer, as you said, of a pick. If you get the overstacks, you can kind of totem the tellies. It's going to be a heater, I feel like. After these first two maps, though, I'm excited to get into this third one and settle this.
What I will say, again, in Maxter's corner right now, is the fact that we've seen Rapha somewhat rattled when he's being pressured, he's being suffocated. And that's what Strog allows you to do. It allows you to take the fights on your terms. It allows you to get in your opponent's face. It allows you to use your rail a lot more effectively, as you can open up those angles a lot quicker and catch your opponent off guard. So, like, I don't expect a 2-1 Maxter, but he is looking good for it.
I mean, to add to this, because of that map loss, Dehang is officially firmly in first place. So we were all going into this thinking Rapha was going to put up 3-0, and then Dehang and Rapha would be tied for maps, everything across the board. With that map drop, Dehang is now firmly in first place on the Americas side.
Wow. I mean, I think there's going to be a massive uptick in the financial forecast for Gunners right now, because Dehang displacing Rapha is something not many people would have expected. He's last stage he didn't look that hot, but this season this is the best Dehang I've seen in a long time, and it is
so hot
well deserved.
Right now.
Yeah, well deserved.
Yeah, I might switch mine. We'll see. They won't help me at all, but they look fashionable. But yes, so Dehang is confirmed. He's undefeated. So we'll see. Now, again, it's a different story entirely whether Rapha's going to drop the series. I think that's going to be a little bit crazier, but we just saw crazy happen, so it might happen again. Can lightning strike twice for Maxter? We will find out shortly as I hear us going into the server, Dan. This is going to be map number 3 between Maxter and Rapha, and the score is tied 1-1. Rarely do we say that when Rapha's in the server, but here we are, live, map number 3, Maxter, Rapha, Strog, Galena on Exile.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours. We went a whole year without seeing Rapha drop a map, and now he's dropped 2 in one stage. I mean, the guy is clearly washed. So,
absolutely washed. Get him out. Peaker damage right off the bat here. Ooh, what a rocket! Maxter, please stop it. It's absolutely insane, the damage that he puts out. Rapha already on the back foot now. Is Maxter trying to figure out exactly where he is? Rapha does get the rockets. Look at this aggressive rocket jump. No fear from Maxter here as he secures the heavy, knows where the totem is, has to make sure that he clears it. He doesn't actually, just skirts right by it. Nothing doing. Doubles back to take care of it, and Rapha getting forced down onto the low ground after picking up the Mega, riding the Lightning though. Maxter a little bit too aggressive, but a huge rocket into the Peaker.
No way!
Oh my god.
I mean, that was just a crazy reversal from Maxter. Lovely double back from Rapha to catch him with the drop down, but the double back from Maxter with the Peaker as well was magnificent. Catch him at the jump pad as well. They're going mano a mano. Maxter coming out on top just before the Mega as well. Rapha will know he's pretty weak, no armor to work with, but you can control this map quite nicely from this high ground, just for the fact it's very dangerous to get down, get that rail, and lovely rockets from Maxter. Tries to catch him sneakily with the shotgun. Rapha doesn't fall for that. And Maxter, once again, for the 3rd map in a row, takes the lead.
And for what it's worth, I like that play leaving the Stroyan up a little bit longer so he had something to fall back on up near that rocket where he took out Rapha, and here it is, picks up the heavy, and Rapha goes down again! Maxter up 2-0. What a start. Oh, but Rapha wants that back, and he will get so. Wow.
So
right up
fortunate.
In there.
So fortunate for Rapha to get that. Lovely push, but I thought Maxter had the turnaround there with the shotgun. And look at the respect coming out from Rapha. He's got the capabilities to push his heavy, but Maxter goes up, he leaves it. Oh, that was huge for Rapha. I thought he wasn't going to get there in time, and Maxter chickens out. And now he's just waiting around. He's a little bit trapped. That damage was huge from Rapha, and Maxter backed himself into a corner with that play, unfortunately.
Poor Maxter. You're roasting the poor boy after he just took a map off Rapha. 2-1, still in the lead here. He's going to drop down, grab this armor, but Rapha on the hunt. Smells some things wrong here as the rails from both players exchanged will miss. Rapha taking position on this heavy, waiting ever so slowly, maybe even using it as a little bit of bait here before he drops down to grab it. maxter playing it very, very slow.
Maxter has some really unusual drop downs, catching opponents off guard. It's a refreshing strategy, but he's now worked himself out of position for the Mega as well, exchanging rails. He's sticking around. He's not going to hit another one. He can hit one more, which he can! Somehow takes the frag.
The balls on this man as maxter hangs in there. A little bit of rocket damage on the way out. He is extremely weak, though. The machine gun, again, getting a lot of mileage. Is rapha with the rockets into the LG. Rapha weak. Goes through. Somehow makes it work. That shotgun is going to haunt maxter. He has to be upset.
I mean, he did so much damage, so it means he has an opening here to push for this Mega. And I mean, we've seen maxter only really needs a rail to work with. He's backed off for the rail, the rocket launcher as well, but rapha actually respecting the damage output from maxter in the previous engagement lets him get that, and maxter now can push his heavy as well. Rapha's there. He's going to eat some damage. It's only 56 so far, but there's another rocket nullifying the pickup. And yeah, maxter is playing really well on this stroke so far.
And this is just such an incredible series between these two top tier players here. As Rapha goes up the jump pad, the swap to rockets, into the shotgun, couldn't get the blast off. Couldn't get the SpaceX going. Rapha uses the totem to heal back up. He's going to have another one, and he lays it down in the back cave as well, trying to work on that overstack. And maxter, that's twice where the shotgun has failed him, and he has got to hate it. It's got to be eating away at him as maxter trying to rain rockets across the gap there, trying to land them on Rapha, but Rapha just doing Neo things, dodging them.
You can also see Rapha's now got 2 totems up, running that back channel. maxter hasn't found them, so the next one is huge. It's up in 1 second, and are we going to see him use it instantly? No. He knows he's in position for the Mega, so wants to see what happens first. And does decide to back off to protect the heavy. His preference, because it is up, but Max is already there, catching Rapha very much on guard, and the rockets are huge again. I'm sure rapha is saying, why are you here, maxter? But it doesn't matter, it was the right decision. The rocket jump up again, nice. And this time the Pika connects the shotgun to rapha's weak. He's just trying to do as much damage as he can, but maxter gets another frag.
Oh no, and rapha pushes, and the rocket read is perfect. Wow, maxter 6-3. maxter in the lead halfway through this one, Dan, and this is nuts. Here's the jump pad as rapha wants that heavy. Rapha's going to slow things down. I mean, he pushes a couple times off the spawn to try and get the refrag. It doesn't work. He's not going to get crazy. Full map control. maxter working with nothing. Finally getting an armor shard here, but rapha knows that he has nothing to work with. There's the rail. Rapha with the chase gets sent through the telly after eating some rocket damage. Here's the peeker. Can he make it happen here? No, nothing doing. Still railable as well.
That might be a slight glimpse of frustration from rapha, that push with the rail into maxter's rockets, but it doesn't matter. He did enough to weaken him. The spawn over by the nail gun, though, that's going to actually offset rapha from getting this Mega. Nice rail from below. And he's pushing. He knows maxter's got nothing to work with. The machine gun is there. Nice damage from maxter, but rapha does get a frag. Has a totem up very shortly as well, so looking relatively pretty. And it's the overstack, something maxter needs to be aware of.
I don't think maxter has checked out the Batcave the entire game. Those totems are just all free as the jump pad does hit the air rocket, but rapha's just so stacked he could jump up again, tank the rail, tie it at 6. And yeah, earlier, I mean, rare footage of rapha actually angry here. As maxter pushing off the spawn with a little bit of LG, 9 HP for rapha. Both players extremely weak. The peeker! Oh my god, the shotgun takes it out. He doesn't get the full damage. Both players still weak, but look at this. Look at this fortress that rapha has.
From 9 health to 175 instantly. maxter needs to try and find that. If he hasn't seen many totems, he must know something's up. Bounces rapha up, he doesn't know how high, and he's very much on the ropes here. He catches him with some big rockets, but the shotgun is better. And now rapha, with that methodical approach, is looking in a good position to continue this lead. Lovely catch up the jump pad though from maxter. Might have worked himself into a position for this Mega. rapha needs to do some damage, but he won't be able to challenge for it directly. Good play from maxter, but again, rapha's not too concerned by this. As I say that, the double back is huge, but the totem is there.
This is just insane. maxter has gone all game without even going back there. to deal with totems or even check, as now he takes a rail, and maxter's really, really, really injured here. Does grab a 50 shard, still extremely weak. Rapha has the stack, 10 seconds until another pocket totem for a fight. After that rail especially, he could just go on the chase, trying to cut off, misses the jump. That's going to delay him. And that is actually going to open it up for maxter to grab the Mega. We have 2 minutes and 5 seconds left. Rapha up by 1. This one is a nail-biter.
But it's that overstack again and again and again. It means Rapha doesn't have to take any risks over by this Mega because he has a Mega in his pocket. It's so painful for maxter. It feels like he might not have played against many good Galenas on this map because it is a very obvious point to put them, and it's obviously difficult to take time to go out and flush it, but it's been such a crucial factor in Rapha's resurgence to get the lead in this map that feels like it's a missed opportunity for maxter, and now Rapha seems to be taking all hope away from maxter unless something crazy comes out from him, which we know he is capable of.
Look at that rocket jump to deny the 50 shard. A great rail. Maxter weak again, and the totem is going to come up shortly for Rapha again. And there it is. Gets the frag, has the overstack as well after the third totem. And with a minute 10 down 3, just the totem economy for Rapha is just too strong, it appears, for Maxter. Great rail from down below, but he's going to need a lot more than that.
Yeah, and unfortunately this is very reminiscent of map 1, where it is that strangulation from Rapha over the longer 10-minute period that wins out. It's the grinding. Maxter's done a huge amount of damage, way more than Rapha, but he hasn't had the items to work with. And not only that, Rapha's had the overstack in his pocket pretty much for the last 5 minutes of the game. And once again, he's had 1,000 health recouped from the totems in this game. That's insane.
Absolutely absurd. And now here's the push and the shotgun finish with 30 seconds left. Rapha putting his stamp on it. And you think with that peeker into the Batcave, Maxter finally saw the totems and was like, oh. Like,
I see.
He's like, oh no. LG drop is easy for Rapha, but you have to give your hats off to Maxter, pushing Rapha to the limits on this series.
Yeah, man, at the very least, he has forged his reputation in the Quake scene and is now a new fan favorite if people didn't like him before. Said at the start, he is one of my favorite players to watch, exactly why. Throughout this series, not just on map 2, maps 1 and 3, star points galore. Map 2, an absolute brawl where he came out on top. And like I said, if he can just get that strategy side of his game a bit more refined, I mean, this guy is going to be incredibly, incredibly scary going into the finals.
Yeah, big shouts to Maxter on that performance, taking a map off of Rapha. And I'm sure Dehang is somewhere smiling because, again, with that map drop, Rapha is actually second to Dehang in the Americas side now. And as we...
Yeah, Max doesn't like that.
Yeah, Rafa's not a fan of what just
happened
with that one. Not a big fan there. That shotgun blast, though, look, that's exactly what I was thinking, too. There was 2 crucial frags, I feel like, where the shotgun let Maxter down. And he's got to be disappointed with it. But overall, I wouldn't be disappointed with that performance. I know at this level, hyper-competitive, you want to win everything, but that was a great showing, and I think Maxter's only going to get better and start heating up as we have 4 weeks left until the stage finals. I think now's the time where Maxter's going to start hitting his peak, and that's exactly when he wants to start hitting his peak. Just a tremendous display from Maxter, but then Rapha showing exactly why he's the GOAT. Right?
Yep.
He's able to give up this kind of big bursty lead to his opponent, but able to stay calm, stay in the pocket, and just be able to take back control and slowly choke you out of the map.
How often do we see Rapha get caught off guard or, you know, constantly getting picked apart by rails from range and not finding the right angle? The way Maxter plays is really unique, and that's to his credit, the way he's developed that playstyle. And yes, it is a very high-risk playstyle, but if you can combine that with a bit more methodical play and slightly better strategy, then, as I said, he's definitely an opponent no one wants to be drawn against because he will rattle you and he will take maps off you. So he's a rising star from South America. SA nearly better than NA today.
Yeah, I mean, they're turning up the heat for sure. That was only the second series of the day, Dan, and my blood pressure's already through the roof. We have a lot more quick action coming at you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back.